Hey, welcome everybody for a brand new show, Chat with Jax Scott, Paranormal and History. And we've got Scott Mathewson, myself, Jax, and our wonderful guest, Sophia Temperilli. How are you doing?
Hey, good. Thank you so much for having me on today.
Of course. Well, Happy New Year, you guys.
Well,
yeah, Happy New Year.
You tend to forget, see, after kind of 2nd or 3rd of January, I think you tend to forget to wish people Happy New Year because it's done and by sort of thing. But Happy New Year, ladies, and welcome Sophia as well to Chat with Jax and Scott.
Yeah, Chat with Jax and Scott. This is our brand new show, and we're like super excited about it. We've got some great guests coming on, and our wonderful first guest, Sophia. So tell us what's been going on with you.
Well, besides trying to get my internet to work, I've just, been spending time with family, playing video games with my friends, just kind of the normal stuff. With the holidays, we normally take a break on my radio show and just let people kind of enjoy it with their family so they don't feel like they're missing a guest or, just anything like that. So it's just kind of been like a slow period until the new year when we can just get back to having our regularly scheduled show.
Well, this is super exciting starting the show. Like Scott and I have been talking about this show for so long, and we've been so excited about this for months. A lot happened in the end of 2021. I'm like so mixed up with the years. I'm like, what year was it? It's such a blur, but it's so good to start a brand new year. It feels like, a lot's been lifted and we have a whole new clean slate to do wonderful things this year. So this is a great start.
Exactly.
I'm super excited about it.
We've been talking about this for quite a while, since last year, put it that way, you know. And it's like been counting down the days till it started, and just try to get ready 2021, just get that in the bin, get it in the cupboard, get it away. Bye.
Like good riddance 2021. I know it's like Scotland meets the US, UK, and all around the world.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It brings everybody together, and we're going to have guests all over Australia, everywhere. And so it is a good way of bringing everybody together, and everybody's got loads planned for 2022, and hopefully it's going to be a lot better than the last year. Will you get plans for this year, Sophia?
I mean, I'm just kind of seeing as it goes. The new year started and I was asked to be on like a few radio shows and I was shocked. I was like, I'm not doing anything. I don't know where you're all coming from. So I'm just like always surprised.
Everybody knows you.
I don't feel like they do because I started when I was so young. I started when I was so young that like I sometimes I'm slightly oblivious to a lot of things, and my parents are like, "No, people know of your show," and I'm like,
"People know your show."
I was like, so I mean, just because I started and I've been doing this for 10 years, I started when I was 12. Sometimes I forget, just like I've kind of grown with the community, the technology and everything. So I've known everyone for so many years that it just they're like friends. And I don't actually think of them, knowing me as a radio host. Just like sometimes, the girl my dad brought with him when he was signing books or, just things like that. So I'm always surprised just what happens throughout the year. And I'm just really looking forward to everything that comes. I mean, I was able to go travel and investigate last year, do some live streams with the Dark Zone. So I mean, I don't necessarily have things set in stone, but I'm always excited to see what comes up.
Yeah. So you don't have like any specific like plans, but do you have any like goals that you want, or is there any like special thing that you would like to do in 2022?
Yeah, for sure. I would love to, obviously go and investigate more. I live in California. It's a little bit hard to kind of find places that let you in that don't cost an arm and a leg. So I just would love to be able to investigate more. I mean, that's really what I love doing. I love doing my radio show, but actually just going out there and experiencing, these different places, whether it's abandoned buildings or just something you don't see every day kind of out of the norm is it's really exciting to me. And it's really my favorite part of the paranormal is just being able to experience something that is just not in normal day-to-day life. So I really would love to go do that more, just kind of travel, meet new people, and, you know, just really experience the field that I think the way it should be, which is just actually going out there and talking to the spirits, seeing these locations, you know, learning about the history.
Yeah, that's awesome. We actually only live about an hour away from each other. So I'm actually going to be doing some investigations down near like San Diego, which is like southern. Anyone who doesn't know California, it's like the very southern part of California. So yeah, you should come and go do those with me. That would be great.
Absolutely. I mean, that would be so much fun. I've never actually investigated anywhere in San Diego, so I think it would be like, a lot of fun. Yeah. I mean, I started so young. Most of the places I went, you know, were like just events we went to just with my parents. And so it's just a lot of fun to be able to explore things. I mean, I investigated in Montana last year, and that was just really exciting for me. It was the first time I've actually just traveled to investigate. And it was a lot of fun. I mean, I've never experienced that. Like, I went to Paris with my aunt when I was really little, but she's not into investigating, so I didn't get to see like the catacombs or anything.
Wow.
So most of the time,
we'll have to plan a trip one day.
Yeah.
For sure. We'll do like a whole trip over to Europe, and we'll just plan it where we can go to investigate all the amazing places.
Yeah, I mean, you got to call the favorite European investigator, though, Rick McCallum. I mean, that guy is...
he's going to be on soon. So, yeah, of course. Well, Rick's actually going to be in Scotland in July. So, are you going to be going?
I'm not. I actually think he's trying to take over Scott's, you know, whole deal. So I would watch your back, Scott. He's really coming for you.
I know. That's a very nice video. I'll be keeping eyes at the back here. I got a couple of comments to put away, but no, tell me right. I had a video call with him about midnight, 1 a.m. their time last night, and we were talking about he's coming over in July. And he says to go up to I was going to say San Diego, because you were talking about California. He's going to be staying.
We all live really close.
He's going to be in St Andrews, which is in the east coast of Scotland. So he says that he's staying beyond the tour dates. So we're going to go over in July to St Andrews, which is about a 2-hour drive for us. So it's no much. And we're going to meet up with him. So you reckon he's trying to take over, Sophia?
Oh, yeah, for sure. He's totally I think he's trying to become you at this point. I mean, he's really leaning heavily into the Scottish thing. I met him super untrustworthy. I mean, no one that tall you can trust. It's just a little weird.
Yeah.
He's not got the streamline look that I've got.
Yeah, no, definitely. So I'm just saying, you know, watch your back. He's infiltrating Scotland a little too much.
I love it. Oh, that's
not here to defend himself. So I know.
Like, if you're watching, Rick, we're on to you.
I'm on to you, Rick.
That's on to you. Sophia's on to you. We got your number, buddy.
Yeah, Rick's a great guy, though. It should be a lot of fun, that investigation. And he's the resident American European investigator. So
he's amazing. I love him. We actually just did an event in Las Vegas a couple weeks back, and he's awesome. He's so good to everybody, and he has such a huge heart. He's really a great person. One of the best investigators I've ever dealt with.
When I was talking to him last night, Jax, he asked me if your phone was broke. And I says, no, I don't think so, kind of thing. Turned out he was kidding, he was joking me, because you hadn't contacted him about this show. I don't think she understood me, does she?
I did. You kind of went out. I'm having a hard, it's glitching on my end, so I'm having a hard time.
Rick was saying, he asked me last night if your phone was broken because because you hadn't contacted him about doing this.
Oh, you know, Rick, I'm telling you, that phone thing goes two ways, okay? Pick up the phone and call a girl. No, unfortunately, I just haven't been reaching out as much to everybody. I know probably everybody on Facebook and all my friends know that my dad just passed 2 days before Christmas. So it's just been
so
like, oh, thanks. I'm okay. You know, it's funny because I have such an amazing close bond with my dad. We had an amazing relationship. And I always thought like when he passed, I would just lose it. Like I wouldn't be able to, you know, even wake up and deal with life. And it's so funny because I have such a peace about it. And, you know, I think that it's just something that when he passed on, he gave me because I think he knew that I wasn't going to be able to deal with it well. And my dad was the one who was into the paranormal and Bigfoot and aliens also. This is how like I grew up and him and I had that special bond. So, you know, I just kind of felt like, oh God, once he's gone, I'm alone, you know? But it's so weird because I don't feel like that at all. Like I started surrounding myself with like all my amazing friends and family. And I just realized that, you know, my dad wasn't well. Unfortunately, he had a stroke, his second stroke, and he would have had permanent brain damage. So, you know, selfishly, of course, I'd rather have him here, but I know he's in a better place. So I'm really good. I'm in a really good place. I'm staying very positive and strong. And I just feel like he's giving me that peace. So it's good. I'm in a really good place.
You feel that he's still hanging around you? He's still there?
You want to know what's crazy, Scott, is my dad played the guitar. And one night, I think, if I remember right, I believe it was Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. I can't remember what day it was. It's all kind of a blur. But I basically lost it. I melted down. I started crying. I was basically like sitting on the couch talking to my mom and my older son. And I just kind of, because like it all hit me, I think. And I sat there and I remember saying to my mom and my son, like, my dad owned guitars. And I said, I need to have one or at least keep them in the family because he played all the time. And it was such a special thing for me. And I told her, I said, the guitars are such a huge symbol of like my dad. And for me to remember him and carry him on in my life, I would either want one or learn how to play or something. I kept talking about the guitar. Well, I finally ended up going home. I think it was like a couple days after Christmas. And it was my first night home. And it hit me really hard when I walked in because I was like, oh, wow, this is my first time ever being alone without my family. So I woke up the next morning. The very first second I woke up, I heard one guitar note right next to my head. And I was just like, whoa. Okay. It blew me away. And of course, I mean, I believe in the paranormal. I don't do this because I don't believe. I believe. So, you know, I know without a doubt my dad is with me, but that blew my mind. And so I literally just kind of laid there and I thought, okay, even though I believe, that's still a trip. So I'm like, wow, what a major thing to happen. So then I thought, well, you know, my son does own a guitar. I want to get up and go see if he's playing it. And I walked in his room, his guitar's in the corner and he's asleep. So I'm like, wow, that's amazing. I've had that exact same thing happen to me 2 more times. So in like basically from my dad passing to like literally yesterday was the third one. I've heard it 3 times and it's like I wake up and it's like he's standing right next to me and it just plays one note. And it's insane, but it's like blowing my mind because it's like, wow, I know for a fact without a doubt in my mind, that's my dad. It's crazy.
That's the thing, spirit will find whatever way possible or a familiar way. It's with my gran. My grandma, she passed many years ago, and I went to see a medium one night, and the medium, she described this short, grey-haired, elderly lady, you know. I thought, well, that could be anybody's typical gran figure. But then she says she's doing this, doing her waist level. She's doing this, and she says, you'll know what it is. And so when my gran got up in the morning to when she went to bed at night, she wore one of the old-fashioned aprons, you know.
Oh, yeah.
But because of size, I mean, she was tiny. the tire bit wrapped around about 2 or 3 times. So she was always tying and untying it, and it drove me and my brother insane. Crying, where you just leave it, it's fine. Every 10 minutes she was whoop, and and it was the most absurd thing, but the woman was spot on. I thought, well, that's my grandma telling me, listen, son, it's me. Remember the apron. It is me. So to me, that's your dad telling you, Jax, it's me. And
yes, 100%, without a doubt in my mind.
Yeah, we got a couple of comments to catch up, and I've got one up there already from George. I can't even pronounce her second name, George. I do apologise. Clean slate. Paranormal investigators need to let go of petty things, and you'll be a better investigator by having no negative back blockage. Well said, Jack. Sophie, once again, as Elizabeth Saint status, carries herself with respect. That's a nice comment.
Thank you, George. Yeah, George is a great guy. I mean, he's so supportive and just so nice. I had him on my show recently, and he's just always so wonderful to talk to.
Shall we say hello to you, Sophie?
That's my mom. Hi, Mom. Yeah, she's amazing. She literally is the best. She's so helpful. She does my hair and makeup every time I do an interview, so I have to give her a shout out for that, because she's literally the best. And actually, after my grandfather died, her father, I was really little, so I'm not gonna go into like super detail because I probably will mess something up, but we had his old van that he used to drive around in, and I don't know the duration, but a few times she would actually smell his scent in the car. I'm not like saying like a cologne or anything, because he had Alzheimer's. Yeah, my grandfather had Alzheimer's when he passed, so he was kind of he didn't understand bathing towards the end, so it was kind of a distinct smell, and she just knew it was him because there was no other reason or replication for that.
That's I mean, we're talking Jack's dad. My dad was a heavy smoker. He passed back in 1995, but he also smoked cigars as well.
Yep.
And he used, I can't stand the smell of cigars. I can't stand it. And every now and again, I'd be back down at my stepmom's house, and be sitting in the house, and can you smell a cigar? And it wasn't as strong. It was quite, mild, but there was that smell. And I used to say to my stepmom, I can smell that. But then it just, it would kind of disappear as quick as it came. Andy, hi. Andy's saying my wife.
It's actually really common. Even from like when I was really super young, I would smell certain smells, and then my mom would go, "Oh my gosh, that smells like my great grandmother," or even my mom or my dad would smell it. We'd all smell it. And then when my dad's mom passed, we could smell her. She had a very distinct smell too. And matter of fact, I was walking through my mom's kitchen around the corner to the hallway just a couple days ago, and I swear it was like my grandmother was standing there, and I go, "Whoa, I haven't smelled that in a while." And my mom goes, "What?" And I go, "It smells just like grandma." And she goes, "Oh my gosh," because obviously my dad just passed, but yeah, it's weird because those smells. They're very distinct smells, and then you don't smell them anywhere else. You always smell them at home or like near family. Yeah. And it's interesting too, because I hear that a lot of people smell them in the bathrooms. They'll always say like, "Oh, I smell it in the bathroom." So it's always interesting because almost everybody will say that. Yeah, like, "Oh, I smell my grandmother," but it's always in the bathroom. So yeah, it's a trip.
Yeah, it's really just weird that spirits can kind of, I guess, cross over into this plane or form wherever they are coming from, and actually, leave smells or sounds or something like that, because that's like full, just, I don't know how to describe it because I'm not scientific, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. But it's interesting, like what you were saying about the smoke, because I lived in this house, this was like 10 years ago, and no one in my home smoked. It never smelled like cigarette smoke, but sometimes you'd walk through the house and like there was like a step down into the living room. And if you sometimes you would step down and it was like someone blew cigarette smoke in your face. And I used to think like, whoa, where's that coming from?
Mm-hmm.
And no one around us smoked at all. So it was really interesting. And then my ex-husband used to say like, I always wonder if that's my mom, because his mom was a heavy smoker. And we had my son was probably 2 years old at the time. And he used to constantly like point up at this one corner in our house constantly. And sometimes he would like hide down behind the bed. Like he's like looking like, I don't want to see whatever that is. And so that used to make me wonder if maybe it was his mom visiting him, because no one else smoked.
Sometimes as well, it's really, really weird. I mean, Laura, who's in our team, we got a new car about 4 months ago. And every time Laura is in our car in the back seat, the middle sensor, the sensor in the middle seat goes off, for a seatbelt. But Laura always sits in the same seat right behind me. But the middle sensor will start flashing.
Oh, wow.
It doesn't do it with, anybody else that's in the car. It's always with Laura. And Laura's no huge that she covers 2 seats. You know what I mean? She's not kind of like that.
Yeah.
And it's really, really weird. I'm not saying it's paranormal, but we just can't work it out. Why?
But it's only one person.
It's just when Laura sits in that in the car, it always beeps and beeps. And then after maybe 30 seconds or so, it'll go off. No, stop. So, as I say, I'm not saying it's paranormal. It's dead, but we can't explain it. I don't have a clue. I don't.
You're like, I don't know what that is.
That's the thing with paranormal as well. Sometimes things that are totally weird that we just can't explain.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God.
Yeah, absolutely.
You sent me, Jax.
Do what?
The video clip you sent me yesterday.
Say it again. I didn't hear you.
The video clip you sent.
Oh, the video clip. Yes, a video clip.
That was weird.
Yeah. I'll have to send it to Sophia so she can see what we're talking about. It's basically like the video's like Matrix, where it's live cameras and it'll show like either like cars disappearing, but yet you can still see like they'll go through past bushes and you can still see like other cars, but one will just go through and disappear. And like people will be walking by and then all of a sudden they're gone. And it's like, but they're caught on live camera and people are like, what happened? Where'd they go? And yeah, it's insane. I've been seeing them often. They've been coming up more and more.
I watched that quite a few times over and over again, just to see if you could, spot anything.
I did too. Yeah, I did the same.
The one with the bin lorry, the trash men, whatever you call them.
Yeah.
I don't know we call them bin men here. I don't know you guys call them in the States.
Yeah.
Where the girl walks down the side of the truck and then vanishes.
Yeah. So basically what it's like, this trash, like, I guess trash truck, waste management, they call it here, but like there's these 2 guys and a driver, and the 2 guys are on the back and they're driving off, and this lady's walking around and they say, hey, you might want to step aside so, we don't hit you. So she steps aside and he sees her step aside. And so the truck moves forward and all of a sudden he's like, where'd she go? Mm-hmm. She just disappears. Every single one of them, the 2 guys in the back and the driver get out. Everyone's looking for her. Nowhere to be found. Yeah. It's just crazy. I don't know who's all on here, but I just want to say hi to everybody because like I'm blind as a bat. So I'm sorry. I cannot see. So if anyone is saying hello. I ran out of contacts, so I need to order more.
Hey, it's okay. I got LASIK, so I understand the struggle.
I want LASIK so bad, but
oh, the best.
I'm gonna go get a second opinion actually, because I've been wanting that. I am like literally, I cannot see anything unless I have my glasses on, and or wear contacts. And even when I wear contacts, it's not even clear. But the last time I went in to get my eyes checked, he's like, "Oh, you can't get that surgery. You have astigmatism." And I'm like, like what? Like what? Like how is this even possible? That like I'm like the one person on earth who can't have this done. So I'm checking that again.
I'll give you the name of my LASIK guy. He's really great. I went to him because he did Kobe's, and now he does like Megan Thee Stallion and everyone. And I figure if Kobe trusted him with his eyes, then I can trust him with mine.
Thank you. I'll go to him.
Yeah, it was super freaked out. I mean, if he tells you that there's something wrong, honestly, I would trust him. And if he doesn't, then he's the best place to go. He's not high volume. He's super wonderful.
That's awesome. For sure. I'll get that information, because I need to see somebody that's like tells me the truth so I know what I can do. I just want to know what my options are, because I'm tired of being blind.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, I was scared of like they cut it with the little knife. I was like, I'm not doing that. And then I got a nose job and I couldn't breathe.
You did?
Yeah, I have had a nose job. And so I was like, oh, well, if I'm getting that done, maybe I should do LASIK. And I was just kind of like on the fence, but my mom hated my glasses. She hated taking me at doctor's appointments and everything about it. And she was like, okay, yeah, we'll go. And I'm like, I didn't say yes. I said maybe. And she's like, no, I'm going to call today.
No, you're getting it.
She's like, we're going to go. And I'm like, okay. But he was super great. I mean, they give you Xanax before, and that didn't really help, but the weighted blanket helped a lot. And it only takes like 15
I love
minutes.
weighted blankets. Those are like my favorite things. I love those things.
Yeah, he's great. He plays music. He's super sweet.
Oh, nice.
So I trust him like 100%.
Perfect.
He's not high volume. It takes like 15 minutes.
I'm going.
Yeah, he's amazing.
No, when you had yours done, was it one eye at one time and you had to go back? Because I hear it's one only.
No.
Did you do both at the same time?
Yeah, he did both. I had different prescriptions.
I want to do both. That's great.
Yeah, I did both the same day. I had different prescriptions in each eye, so he just recalibrated. It took like 3 minutes, and then they hold this thing over your eye. They say let us know when it's black. You let them know. Laser the flap, then they just like tap, put it back, and then you wear these goggles. I was kind of freaked out at first because everything was brown, and I was like, this is weird. And
you're like, oh no.
And then
I see worse.
Yeah, they were like, go take a nap when you get home. And I'm thinking, I don't take naps. That's not gonna happen.
And so
but I think the Xanax did it.
You're like, all right. I'm like, oh.
I had In-N-Out, got home, and
not In-N-Out. Take me to In-N-Out, please.
I woke up and I wanted In-N-Out. I had already eaten my entire burger, but because I fell asleep
so we live
fast,
the same life. Xanax and In-N-Out, please.
I was like, yeah. So he's great. He makes sure you're comfortable and you go to sleep afterwards, like they tell you to.
Oh, that's awesome. Yes, for sure. I need that number. I want to go. I want to get this done. I'm so tired of I constantly going, oh God, where did I leave my glasses? I'm so blind I can't find. I'm like Velma and Scooby-Doo. Where are they?
Yeah, that's how my dad is.
I do that, but I put my glasses up there a lot, and I'm always looking, and I can't see nothing. All I can see is a blur now, so I wouldn't be able to see a bus.
Oh, yeah, I couldn't see anything. That annoyed my mom, too, because she'd be, like, straightening my hair for school or something, and she'd be like, what do you want to watch? I'm like, Mom, I can't see anything. And she'd be like...
I know. Everything's a blur to me. I can see, like, colors, and I can see, like, certain things you can see, but you can't, like, make out real clear. And I think sometimes, like...
The doctor.
I bet when you got it done, it, like, blew your mind how much you could see like detail, huh?
Oh yeah, no, it was super weird. You have kind of like a halo effect for a little bit afterwards. So like any lights have like a halo around it. It went away for me at least like a year after, but it's not like a big deal.
Year?
Yeah, it's not like a big deal or anything. It's just kind of like you have like you wake up and when you look at the clock or something, there's like a little halo. I
see that all the time anyway, so
it's not a big deal. It's completely gone for me now, so it's just fine. And I actually, so 20/20 vision is what most people have. And because I had LASIK, then I actually see 20/15, which is like over.
Wow.
It increases it. Yeah.
Dang, girl. So, okay, I'm definitely getting it done because I've had probably 2, maybe 3 people in my family that got it. Even my grandmother got it. She was like 80. Okay.
My grandma's 85. I totally get it. That woman, it's just, you cannot stop her. It's insane.
It was so funny when my grandmother passed a long time ago, but I remember when she got it, she was all like, oh my God, I could see everything. Like she was just like amazed at like the world. And I was like, dang, I wish I could see like that. I'm like, dang, my 80-year-old grandmother can see better than me. And I was like, probably like 25 at the time.
Oh yeah.
Like, I'm jealous.
You have to watch out for. They are just mine.
Yeah.
I call her the bruja because she's crazy. Like my mom a few years ago, she had uterine cancer. And we didn't know for like a little bit. But my grandma would walk over and she'd be like, you don't look good. You look bad. And my mom's like, stop saying that to me, Mom. And then she found out like a few months later she had cancer. And we're like,
oh, I'm so sorry. Is she okay now?
Oh, yeah, she's good. She had a hysterectomy. She's fine.
Oh, my God. That's a hard thing to go through.
Yeah. But I mean, my grandma somehow knew before anyone else. I don't know. She's kind of... I don't know. She's kind of weird about that stuff. I really think she's like Mexican. She's 100% Mexican. So I think she's like a weird Native American thing going on. Because we think her father was 100% Native American. I know I'm 12% through Ancestry. So we think my mom's 25. And no, my mom is 25. We did have her DNA tested. So we think my grandma's somewhere like 50. And we just think she's like some weird medicine man thing going on.
I love that though.
Andy's saying
medical. That's awesome.
And history is a great idea for a new show. Actually, Andy's my other you can't even say it. Co-host.
Don't mind me, guys. I'm fighting allergies, so I'm not crying. I'm good.
Andy's going to be one of my other co-hosts on a show we're starting again.
What medical history like? What exactly is medical history like? I mean, what do you talk about with medical histories? Is that like paranormal related? What is that?
Lobotomies.
Sarah and I were talking, and Laura were talking about this the other day about doing a show on this about I hate using these words. The mental health. How
I see what you're saying. Okay.
Down through the decades. I mean, some of the methods back in maybe the early 1900s were quite brutal and what have you. But a lot has changed since then, and it is all history. So we were actually talking about putting a show together concerning that. But no, what Andy's saying is medical and history should be a new show, and he says you have just done it anyway. He's talking about we're talking about the eyes and stuff. I think that's
okay. So like what we're talking about now.
Yeah,
Andy's originally from Yorkshire. He just moved over to Antelope Valley. About 5 months ago, Andy moved over for work. Him and his family's over there for 3 years, I believe it is, and then they're coming back here. So he's looking to get out and investigating as well. He's got his own group as well. He's all right. His taste in pajamas is quite bad. I must say that.
Pajamas.
I have seen a photo which will be going up, Andy, somewhere. I do have a photo of you, and it will be getting posted of you in an unflattering pose in a set of pajamas. That's all I'm saying. Keep tight lips like that one. That's enough.
And what kind of pajamas do you wear, Scott?
A gentleman never discusses his nightwear. I've Christmas pajamas, and they're not called pajamas, they're called lounge trousers or lounge pants. They're like dog bottoms. But I don't wear jammies going to bed. I never have. I can't. It's too.
Oh no.
I don't sleep nude. I'm not saying I sleep naked. That's a whole different show.
You're like, okay.
I do have something on, but I can't go to
Oh,
bed
that's
with
funny.
jammies in that one. It's too. I like to feel the air round about me at night.
Yeah. I'm obsessed with like the onesies. Like, I don't know about, over there, but here, like, I don't know, not so much men, but like women and kids, we all love to wear onesies. So I have a bunch of those. I love those onesies. They're great to hang out in. They're cozy and comfy.
I just like to wear like large men's shirts and shorts. They're the most comfortable for me. I wear shorts all year round.
I have shorts on now.
Yeah, I have shorts on.
I know, it's like throw on like a thing that looks like it's kind of winter, and I'm like, and shorts.
But your weather just now is different. I mean, we're like say 2 degrees here just now. What you?
Okay, but that means it's like 34, right? And that would be 34 degrees for us. Because you go by Celsius, right?
Aye.
Yeah. Yeah. So that would be 34 degrees, I think, here.
I'm sorry. When I went to Montana, I wore shorts. It was like 32.
Girl. Okay. So I don't know if you guys remember, like back in probably this last, what was it? Like end of March, early April, there was like this massive snowstorm that came through Texas. And it was like this big thing, and everybody lost like power, and it was like, oh, people were going crazy. I got stuck in that, and I drove through in a Mercedes-Benz all the way across this snowstorm. Couldn't even see the road, and my kids and I were in flip-flops. So every time we stopped to go to the bathroom or get gas, everybody outside's bundled up in all these like winter boots, and I'm out there in flip-flops gassing up, and they're looking at me like what is wrong with you?
I get that as well. I wear t-shirts a lot. Whether it's raining or no matter what the weather is, it's not very often I'll wear a jacket. Even if it's snowing, I'll get in the car. I used to drive the lorries, and the winters in Scotland can be quite brutal, and blizzards and all the rest of it. And I would be at the back of the wagon with just a t-shirt on. And you get guys coming out to unload you with big jackets and waterproofs and gloves and everything on. And I'm standing there with a t-shirt on. And they used to say to me, is there something wrong with you? Are you not feeling the cold? I don't feel it. I mean,
well, for me, when I was actually investigating, I did wear like snowboarding pants and stuff. But when I was in the airport, I would rather be cold for like 2-3 minutes than be hot in those airports. And it was hot in the airport. So I was going to wear a tank top and shorts, and I stood by that decision. I stand by that decision. But yeah, my mom posted in the comments it's 66 here, so I did transfer that.
I know. I'm just like reading the messages, and I'm like, what's everybody saying? But it's funny is Sophia and I and Rick, we all live in Southern California, so this is like so normal for us because it could be the middle of winter, but the middle of winter for us is like, what is it, Sophia? Like maybe 55.
Yeah,
I mean,
I transferred over to Celsius. It's 19 degrees Celsius here right now.
That's like a heat wave in Scotland, I've got a question for you, Sophia, Andy, but just before I come at you, talk about the shorts in the airport. I remember when you used to go abroad, and the Lanzarote, Tenerife, where it was like 30, 35 degrees, and if you got a nighttime flight back, you always went to the airport with shorts and a vest top on because it was like 30 degrees, and you'd land back. You always remember coming back, and we were on the plane, and we're just descending into Glasgow, and the pilot says, the temperature is 1. And I'm sitting there with shorts and flip-flops and a vest top on. And it was like 3 or 4 in the morning, and the luggage always takes forever to come round that belt. You don't think that? And you're standing there like that.
Freezing to death. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Yeah, a question for you. I just called you Sophia. Sophia, Andy. God's sake, see that, man?
So Hollywood Forever, I actually haven't been to. LA, you know, it's not too far, but sometimes it can take a half an hour or it can take 2 hours. So I don't usually
sometimes 5.
Yeah. So I don't usually venture up to Hollywood area like ever. But it looks like an amazing place to go. I know people have caught some really incredible stuff there. I think it's definitely a place worth checking out. I would love to go there someday, but like I said, you know, the 2-hour drive is a little, you never know.
Yeah, and she actually lives way closer than I do. I'm probably like an hour still south of where Sophia lives. So yeah, it could take us like, I mean, just to go to the airport, if it was like a direct drive from my house to the airport, I could probably get there in like an hour and a half. But on a day with traffic, it's like an 8-hour trip. So it's insane. The traffic here is insane. So yeah, I don't venture out that way unless I'm either going to see Rick McCollum or I'm going to David Omen's house. So, I mean, yeah, it's crazy town. We don't do that here very often.
Yeah, no, totally. Because it's like you can go 11 at night. You can be from where I live to LA like 30 minutes.
Yep.
You can go during the day. It can literally take 2 to 2.5 hours. So, and
for me, it'd be like 4 hours.
Yeah, I would say the average is if you're having like light traffic, it's like 45 minutes to an hour. Yeah. So I just don't really go that way. But it looks like a great place. I would definitely check it out. But I just haven't had any experiences there because when I'm in LA, I'm usually trying to leave LA.
Yeah, and you know what's funny? In all the years that I've been doing the paranormal, I've never even been there. So that's a whole new place for me. Even I've never gone there.
I think when you actually live in LA, it's places like that everyone talks about that no one ever goes to because it just takes forever. I think the Queen Mary is probably the most gone to place by people who live in Southern California because you don't have the LA traffic. Yeah. And it's such a big location that it's really just something you have to see.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So like when we get the investigation set up in Southern California, I'll for sure have to call you and see if you can like come down and we'll go do those together. That'll be great. It's good to start like looking into new places. But San Diego is actually quite known for like amazing haunted places. So for sure. I've been to a few already, so it's great. I'm looking forward to going back. I'm trying to like read everybody's stuff. I'm like all over the place.
Yeah, I know. There's like a lot of comments.
I know. I'm like, who else is on here?
There's so many people from like all over that you have like all these different comments about the weather. You have like the Southern California, the Scotland.
They're talking about Tokyo.
Yeah, which is so cool. I would love to go to Tokyo.
In Tokyo. Wow. It's -2.
Whoa.
So there is somewhere colder than Scotland then.
Yep. It won't be here.
No.
When does it rain in Scotland? Doesn't it rain a lot in Scotland?
About 364 days a year.
Oh, lovely. Well, you get one good, lovely day. Good luck finding that day.
Depends your perspective. It could be 364 days of good weather and one bad day.
Well,
he's staying positive. I actually used to live in Seattle, Washington, because I'm very familiar with rain all the time, and it gets depressing after a while.
Oh, it does. Absolutely does. But saying that 2 years ago, I mean, we don't talk about it on this channel, but with the first lockdown over here, Andy might remember this. We actually got hit with a heat wave for about 6 weeks, and it was like desktops and swim shorts, paddling pool out the garden kind of weather. And we were in lockdown, so we couldn't go anywhere.
Oh no. You finally get nice weather and you're stuck.
Exactly. As soon as you say, right, we're in lockdown, bang, out came the sun.
Crap, it's nice outside. We're stuck in here. So I would have opened the door and like, stuck my leg out the door or something. It's like, I'm going to go see that nice weather. Nobody will see me, but my foot will go out.
Yeah. That's Andy's sarcastic head coming there. 18th of August between 1 and that.
Oh my God. That's so funny. Oh, that's hilarious. Your one good day.
But I mean, the weather in Scotland can turn. I remember one time I was working. I was starting work at 12 o'clock, and I got up early in the morning, and I went to the shop, and it was like heat wave. I had the shorts, t-shirt on, went to the shop about 8 in the morning, back to the house, and I get ready to go to work, and I came out the house, and it was a blizzard.
Oh my God.
I was going that way, and I got on the bus, and I was talking to the driver. And I was saying that was about 3 hours ago in shorts and a vest top. And now it's a blizzard. That's how insane it is over here weather-wise. You can't plan anything. I mean, we're getting an investigation planned for Saturday, and it's weather permitting.
Yeah, my cousins live in Texas, and they said on New Year's Day it was like 86 degrees, and the next day it was 22.
Oh my gosh.
Well, two of our friends, Hectic Paranormal, Jem and Kate. Jem and her mum sent me a wee small video clip on Christmas Day, Christmas morning, and I think it was 7 a.m. there. But they were saying it was going to hit like 30, 35 degrees there in Australia. I'm not sure what part of Australia they're in. She keeps telling me, and I keep forgetting. I know they're in Australia, down there. Stephen, he would be able to tell us. But they were sitting outside Christmas morning, Merry Christmas, and the sun was shining and stuff. And then you look out the window and it's pouring with rain.
Oh my God.
Over here, it's just no fair. I love Scotland, I love it, but the weather sucks.
Oh God. I know. And here's Sophia and I live over here in SoCal where we're spoiled.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. We really are, I have to say.
I don't think I could ever move. I love the rain, but I just don't want to deal with the 86 one day, 22 the next day. Like, I just don't really want to deal with it. I don't even like the heat, and I like everything around here. The good Mexican food, the weather's pretty good.
My favorite.
I feel pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, we truly are blessed, like where we live and the weather we have. And I mean, there's so much around us. Like, we don't lack for anything here. So yeah, we're pretty stinking lucky.
Yeah, it really doesn't rain.
It seems like it never rains. It's kind of funny because we just had about a week of rain here, and we'll probably maybe get like a few more days to another week of rain, maybe in like the spring, and that'll probably be it. Like, we don't get a lot of rain here. Yeah.
I mean, specifically where I am, I know it usually happens more like February and March. We have like 3 months of rain, but it's not like straight rain. I know it's enough to flood my backyard every time.
Yeah,
poor dogs.
Yeah, because when we get it, it usually comes in and then it like stays for several days and then it'll go away and come back. But we don't get enough to where it's nothing like living in Scotland or Seattle or anywhere that it rains a lot. Nowhere near that. Swamp butt.
I've got no idea what swamp butt is. Sorry, Irene. I don't know what that is, though.
Okay, so like that's when it's like really humid, like super sticky, hot, gross outside, and then you get sweaty and like
clammy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's what that is.
I just reference Urban Dictionary or something.
I lived in the South for 4 years, and I know what swamp butt is, okay? It's disgusting. It's like you walk outside and you're like, like you instantly just feel icky and wet and sweaty, and it's like you can't get away from it. So the humidity is so bad. That's so gross. We don't get humidity very tiny little bit of humidity, but Southern California people don't understand humidity like the South. They don't, no clue.
No, I mean, I would love to go check out like Louisiana and everything, like New Orleans. But I really would prefer to go during like a winter time because I was down in that area for 4 years. Yeah.
I've been to New Orleans so many times. I can't have lost track how many times I've been there, but I lived there for 4 years. And I would say if you're going to go to Louisiana, I would say probably go in like late spring, like May, late April, May, or wait until early fall. So the summer is horrific. You will not enjoy it. It's so humid. Especially if you're not used to the humidity, you'll feel like you're dying.
I went to Tombstone once, and I really didn't enjoy a single moment. It was like 100 degrees, like dry heat. I hate the heat so much. And I felt like I was dying.
She can't handle dry or humidity.
I hate the heat in general. Like, I prefer humidity because otherwise my skin gets extremely dry, but I cannot. Like, I just, like, I love investigating, and it should be really exciting going to Tombstone. And we were there for this event that was, I can't even describe that. And we were trying to walk around stores and like salvage the time we had there. And I would walk in and be like, I'm dying. And my mom's like, we just walked in. I'm like, I'm dying.
I love that 100 degrees. I've been paradise with that. I love the heat. Oh,
I'm the same. It's funny. I love the heat. It can get as hot as it wants. I love it. I don't like humidity, but I can handle the heat. I love it when it's hot. Anywhere between like I'd say 80 and 100 degrees, I'm good. I can go anywhere like that. I love it.
I stay in my room with air conditioning. Otherwise, I'm going to
be here with her air.
Die.
The
fan.
Oh, God.
I used to go to Lanzarote a lot. Lanzarote is in the Canary Islands, and it's like 52 weeks a year. It's like summertime. And
I used
to go to a place called Port of the Carmen, and you get these, call them touts, they stand outside bars, and they try and entice you to come into the bar kind of thing, come in and get a free drink sort of thing. And there's one guy, he always used to pester me every single day. I used to try and cross the street to avoid him. They got me one day, and he's like that, oh, are you from Scotland, my friend? And I said, well, aye, the accent kind of gives it away here. And he said, well, I want to come to your country for a holiday. And, excuse the language, but you say, what the fuck? Why? I'm standing there, and you get the beach right beside you, the Mediterranean Sea's there, palm trees, blue sky, and you're like, I want to come to Scotland for a holiday, so you can wear a jacket. I could never understand that. Why people would want to come to. I mean, I love Scotland.
I want to go to Scotland.
You should maybe ask Rick.
Rick is the most Scottish man outside of an actual man who is in Scotland that I've ever met in my life.
Yeah.
He talks about it all the time. He's obsessed with it. I think Rick should just move to Scotland and be happy.
I think he's thought about it. I think
he probably will. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised one bit if he went and never came back.
I think he misses Scott is really what it is. He should admit it more, though. I think there's no reason to hide that. Just come out, say it, and I think it will make for a better relationship if just the honesty is there.
Right. So is this your professional opinion, Sophia?
I'm just really trying to get through and understand Rick better. And I feel like the more we talk, the more I am understanding it. He just misses you. And I really feel like that's something that he should just express more. I think it'll make it better. Like Scotland, your name's in it. I feel like there's some sort of correlation that he's just not saying that he should. You can tell him I said that too.
Don't you just love her?
She's on to you. She's on to you guys. I think she's got something in here.
This is what my parents get all the time too. So this is just what
No, don't get me wrong. I'm sounding. I don't hate Scotland. I love Scotland, and I'm really very proud to be, Scottish and what have you.
Well, your name's in it, so you should be.
Well, exactly. Happy bees and my country kind of thing. And I'm very, very proud to be Scottish. But the weather sucks. That's it. That's my complaint. That's all.
So if you could live anywhere in the world, Scott, where would you go?
Porto do Carmen and Lanzarote.
Where?
Lanzarote.
Oh, okay.
I've been there many times. Porto do Carmen sits in the east coast of the island, and it's paradise basically.
Wow. Beautiful weather.
Yeah, all year round. And
the nice.
Beaches are amazing. You can walk literally for miles. You could probably do that in California as well.
Oh yeah. I mean,
that's why you have to.
We're spoiled here. We really are.
Yeah.
That's why we have the thing I like best about it is, it's like if you live in a town or a city, you always see people and they're rushing about. They need to get here. They need to get there. They need to do this. But one time when I was on holiday, I was just sitting, I'm a people watcher. And one day I was just watching everybody basically, and nobody was rushing about. Nobody at all. They were just, strolling about. I always remember this one guy. He drove a van and he was delivering juice and water into a shop. And over here, you see delivery drivers, and it's bang, 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 this drop, that drop. This guy didn't have a care in the world. It was just, he 3 or 4 cases on his wee trolley, and he just strolled in, and then strolled back to no rush or nothing. And I watched one guy. He was going for a bus, and you could see that his bus was coming, but he didn't run for it. It wasn't a case he was trying to flag it down. He just went and sat at the bus stop. More or less, I'll get the next one. I don't care. And that's what got me. The way that nobody rushed about. Nobody cared. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
To a resident psychologist, Sophia.
Yeah. No, I mean, it does make sense. I'm just thinking about, like, if I'm out somewhere, I speed walk because my house is comfortable. I made it like that way. So like if I'm just like around, I'll just be chill. But if I'm somewhere else, I'm like if I'm in LA, I'm gonna walk really fast so I can go back to air conditioning. Yeah, that is true. Tombstone was so hot. I did in fact pass out.
You did?
Yeah, I passed out like 3 times in my life, completely blacked out.
Oh my God.
Like I said,
you get overheated. Oh no.
I passed out at a school fair, which if I wasn't holding a giant Scooby-Doo, probably would have cracked my head open, and 2 other times.
Oh my God. Yeah, Scooby saved your life.
It was giant Scooby-Doo.
The irony of Scooby saving your life.
No, he's a real one. Always been since day one. Probably part of the reason I'm in the paranormal. I got a bunch of Hex Girl stuff for Halloween, Christmas.
That's funny.
Yeah. So he did. He saved my skull. So, thanks, Scooby, for that.
Thank you, Scooby.
Yeah. So when they don't like the heat doesn't like me either. It's like a whole thing.
Not.
No. It tried to kill me numerous times.
The heat was the death of her.
I might actually be a ghost at this point. Not too sure. I'm pale enough to be. I live in California. I should have a tan.
He's a walk-in. My girlfriend says I'm a walk-in. We're both walk-ins.
Yeah, I'm like,
we're dead and came back.
You actually look Scottish, Sophia.
Oh, do I? I am.
As you see, my skin, I'm like milk bottle, milk carton, white. I'm just white, Some bits are blue, but you look in the same shade, That I mean, you get over here, you get no disrespect to them. You get the sunbed shops, the tanning salons, whatever you guys call it, and you see them when you go up to town, and they're brown, golden brown, and you think that just doesn't look right. You live in Scotland, we're not that colour, you live in Kilmarnock, and you're like golden brown for the Amazon kind of thing. And
how do they get like that?
Sunbeds, that's it. But
spray tan. Yeah.
I used to be
Look like an Oompa
really
Loompa.
tan, and then I started gaming. I used to go paddleboarding a lot, and then Xbox.
Mhm.
So I'm trying to get a tan
Jamie
because
took over her life.
yeah, it's so fun.
Now
I
she's
get a
pale
tan.
face.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a tan. Don't worry.
Summer,
I will
listen, by the end of spring, early summer, she'll have it right back.
by winter, the end of winter. I'm not.
Oh, there
sitting
you
in
go.
the heat. I'm not sitting in the heat.
Over here, I drove the Arctics, the rigs for 20 years, and during the summer, you know, back when we did get summers, half of me used to be brown, and the other half was white, because we call it driver's arm. You probably get over there as well with your truck driver.
Yeah.
You got a pure golden
They
brown.
call it the trucker tan.
Aye, that's what I call it.
Yeah.
Golden brown, white, right arm, or it'll be left arm for you guys. White, left arm.
White and tan.
Yeah. Well, it's complete opposites for my parents. My dad does not tan. He just sunburns immediately. My mom, she just breathes and just gets extremely dark. She tans so fast. I mean, I tan pretty fast too, but nowhere near her. She really, that Mexican side took over when it came to her pigment.
Wow.
She's just crazy. My dad, though, he had to have like 6 inches of his arm removed here because he had skin cancer. So, I mean, the man literally cannot handle the sun, which is ironic because he used to live by the beach and go paddle boarding and stuff. Not paddleboarding, surfing. He did like everything outdoors. And my mom and I are always like, how did you ever go in the sun? Because you literally he breathes sunburn. She breathes.
Wow, that's probably why he ended up with cancer, because he burns and doesn't tan.
Oh yeah, he fries. We're like, how did you ever spend any time outdoors? We don't understand it.
It's not something to deal with.
Over there on the beaches, do you get these people that just lie in the sun all day and they're all crispy and charcoal, but they still lie there?
Still white?
No, they still lie there. They'll lie in the beach for like 10 hours a day. Like that.
Oh yeah. They're just completely obsessed with laying out, tanning, 100%. And you can tell who they are because they look like brown leather. Yeah, they look like a big leather couch.
Aye, exactly. They need a good pressing.
Put some oil on them. That is a full tan right now. Oh my god, that's funny. You guys are making me cry. That's hilarious. Oh my god.
When I came back abroad, you know, I'd be all brown, and I would, the day I came back, I would buy a white t-shirt, or I would dig out a white t-shirt, put it on, and I'd go walking, you know, a shopping centre or something, like, you know, showing off this, you know. And, you know, white always brings it out more, so it had to be your white t-shirt like that, you know, like Mr. Clean, you know. And it's amazing the amount of people who come up to you and say, have you been on holiday?
That's how you can tell, just immediately. For us, it's just like a different.
I went from white to peach.
Yeah, for us, people are like, why are you
I'm like tan.
Yeah, here people are like, why are you pale? And over there, they're like, you went somewhere?
Have you been away? You know, I just sat in front of the oven for a fortnight, you know.
Oh, that's funny. Because over here, when people go somewhere and they come back with that nice tan glow, you kind of wonder, like, did you go somewhere? Or is that just your normal color? Because people are tan here. Mm-hmm. It's just a thing. Like, tanning is a big thing in Southern California.
Here's a question for you both. You stay in Southern California, you get the weather, the beaches, the palm trees, you get everything. Where do you go on vacation?
Oh, gosh. Like, where do you go, Sophia?
I mean, I haven't gone on a vacation in a long time because, like, when I did travel to like Paris and stuff, it was for my cousin moving into his dorms at like Sorbonne. So I haven't like taken like a true vacation, but if I had to go somewhere, I mean, I honestly would love to go like snowboarding in Colorado or something, or Mammoth. And I would love to visit like Tokyo someday too. So I would just kind of like to experience new things like that if I went on a vacation. I mean, Hawaii would be really fun to go to, but if I like genuinely chose something, it would be probably cold weather.
If you're going to go to Hawaii, then you definitely want to check the weather if you don't like the heat, because they actually do have humidity. I just went to Maui in June, and there is quite a bit of humidity. So yeah, for sure, check that out. But I actually travel a lot. I've been to every state in the entire United States. I just went to Alaska 2 years ago, and then I went to Maui in June. So those were my last two states to hit. But I grew up with my family traveling. We traveled all over the country, and then as an adult, I would travel around. And I've actually lived in like Seattle, New York, the South, and like Nevada, California, and so like I've kind of been all over. But yeah, it's interesting because it was a huge goal of mine to hit to go to all the states. Now I have to go to the territories, so I'll be going to like checking out different places. But I want to travel to Europe. I'm planning a trip in March to England. So yeah. So matter of fact, Scott and I were just talking about maybe Patty might be over there, right?
Yep, my March time, some kind of festival happening. I'll need to dig into it again. But Patty was talking coming over March as well. So Sophia, if you're not busy in March, and if you leave the house for long enough,
go.
Sure, I would love that.
Ooh, let's go.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to see Europe. Yeah, you definitely Maui can get hot. I went with that when I was little with my parents. I had the literal worst sunburn I've ever had in my life. I couldn't even walk.
Yeah, you know what's crazy is people don't realize how close Hawaii is to the equator. So you're so close that you burn really, really fast. You can't, like, I was only there for like maybe a total of 10 days. And I bet I only laid out in the sun like maybe 5 days out of 10. And I came home so dark. My whole family's like, my God, how did you get so tan?
Yeah, like, it's crazy.
A few days in the sun.
But yeah, England would be so amazing to check out. I think all of, the castles over there and stuff are super cool too. So, I mean, just like anything like that, that's not, of the normal. Like if I went to Paris, I would want to go see the catacombs. I already saw the Eiffel Tower. So it's just like the things that aren't the usual, or, go snowboarding, because that's not usual for me here.
So like Colorado and Aspen, places like that. Those are beautiful places. I've been there and they're gorgeous. Aspen's stunning.
Yeah, frightens my family members because of the nose job.
Well, your nose looks beautiful, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah. I apparently broke it when I was about 3 or 4 years old. I technically didn't break it. Some random kid kicked me in the face and broke it, and I didn't know until I was like 18 and couldn't breathe. And I was like, I feel like I'm dying. And they're like, you have a deviated septum of 75%. And the
no.
Yeah, and I had no structure at the tip of my nose. So when I took a deep breath, it would close up, and I had a dorsal hump, which was pulling the skin. So I think all of that was a cause of literally some random kid kicking me in the face in a Burger King jungle gym.
In a Burger King jungle gym. Violent children out there.
I didn't even know him.
Oh my God. And the poor kids caused you that much pain through your life. Jesus.
At least it's a funny story if I had to.
Yeah, it is. It's a good story.
I was assaulted in a Burger King. Actually, you told me, bro, that's why my nose, I've got a decisively big nose. That's why my nose is, because I used to play ice hockey when I was a teenager, and I get my nose broke. My nose get broke during a match once, and the way the bones split, it kind of went out the way. And I went to the doctor, and he says, well, you can either leave it the way it is, or you can go in the hospital and we'll break your nose for you again.
Yeah.
Being a teenager like that, you think I'm daft? I'm stupid. I'm going to go and let you break my nose again. Sod off. So I just left it, and I've been with it ever since, But now I get the option, we can break your nose again if you want. I says, no, you're all right, Thanks to I appreciated the offer that they gave me, it was really nice of them, but I thought, no.
Yeah, I was really lucky. My doctor, he used a different technique called piezosurgery. So he actually used this tool they normally use in dentistry that vibrates the bone away. So he didn't actually break my nose. He just shaved it into shape. So the healing time was a lot quicker too and stuff. So I got really lucky with the doctors I found.
Yes, I was just gonna say you've lucked out major because, like, oh my God, that I've unfortunately been through so many crazy things in my life. I've had 33 surgeries in my life for so many different things. I actually had my jaw broken from I had I don't know if you know what TMJ is, like when you clench your teeth, and I had lockjaw. And so like your mouth normally moves like this, and mine got stuck behind. And so it like locked my mouth. And it was this, I remember, I'll never forget, this was on a Friday afternoon. And I remember literally driving to the dentist, and I'm like, what's wrong with my mouth? I couldn't even move my mouth. And he's like, oh my God, you have lockjaw. You have to have surgery to remove it. And he's like, I hate to tell you this, but everyone's closed till Monday. I'm like, what? I had to stay like that till Monday before they would do it. And I went in, and oh my God, it was torture. It was the worst surgery I'd ever had, because they can't totally put you asleep because they need to keep constantly asking you, like, can you move it? Can you feel it? And it's like needles, these big old huge, and they keep going in and out of your jaw. And they have to like break your jaw to like torture. So yeah, no fun. Like, I'm like, never again. And they're like, you might have to do that again. And I'm like, I will never do that again.
Oh my God.
No, I will never do that again. I will find another route. Thank you. You can have the jaw. Just keep the jaw. I don't even need the jaw.
Yeah, that's George. Really harsh. Oh my God.
Yeah. So that's insane. But yeah, I mean, when I hear other people say, oh, I've had this done, I'm like, yeah, I know I've never had a nose job, but I feel your pain. Like I know what you've been through. It's horrible, but it's a good thing you had good doctors. It sounds like you've lucked out.
Yeah. Thank God for Yelp is all I can say.
Right? Yeah. Thank God for great reviews.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
from now on, I'm going to be like, I need a surgery. Call Sophia.
I just like type it in on Yelp, and I'm like, okay, let me see your pictures.
Right? Exactly.
This is actually maybe a paranormal show, but I think we've talked about cooking and holidays and sunburn and medical procedures and all sorts of stuff. Look, I think we'll wind it up there, ladies, if you want. If that's all right with you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I know Jax understood, she's froze.
What happened?
Oh no, you did. You must be really good at sitting still. It looked as if you'd frozen there.
I'm frozen. I know every once in a while my screen will kind of glitch for a second. It's the weird internet. I'm telling you, Sophia and I are telling you, we have the weirdest internet right now. Something is going on.
Well,
it's the paranormal and aliens. I'm convinced.
We're in Scotland and our internet's totally fine. Totally fine. But that's what I wanted to ask you, Jax, actually, about Paracom you were at in Vegas.
Say it again.
About the
Vegas trip.
The Vegas trip. Yeah.
Yeah. We actually just went out to Vegas December, I think it was the 9th through the 12th. And it was a really amazing time. We had a great time, like connecting with everybody. It's funny. It's like I've done so many paranormal events over the years, and it was the one event that I actually felt like it was the biggest connection of people, where like we actually left with the most amazing bonds and relationships with people that I've never felt before. At like a normal event, you kind of you see people, they come and they go. This was an actual like I mean, I hate to call it a love fest, but it was almost like we all came together in this one place and just kind of all fell in love with each other as friends. And every single one of us left like, wow, I like really miss these people. And we call each other and we've reconnected. But yeah, it was a really interesting event. We had mass amounts of people from so many shows come. Oh my God, like the list just went on and on, like Josh Gates and Brian Cano and Rick McCollum and, you know, just everybody, like, I mean, everybody you can think of was there, the Ghost Brothers and, you know, just, I mean, everybody. It was like, it was a big major event, but like, you know, the best part of it was just the connections we all made. It was like just everyone just came together in one space and there was zero drama and we just all had a wonderful time. So like, I have nothing bad to say about like the connections we all made and how everybody was with each other. I mean, that's so rare for people, anyone who knows, like, if you're in the paranormal, you know that there's usually some craziness and some drama or something stupid or be said or done, but it was nothing like that. It was actually really nice. It was extremely fun, very pleasant. I came back with nothing but positive, you know, thoughts and feelings about everybody. And so, yeah, I've actually gained some amazing friendships and relationships from that event. So I'm very happy I went. Extremely happy.
I've seen a lot of the photographs and you looked, you know, to be having a really, really good time. But also it brings up another question. I know we don't talk about it on the channel, but, you know, since the virus happened, do you think that the virus has kind of brought the paranormal community closer together?
Say that again?
Do you think that, you know, COVID and what have you has maybe brought the paranormal?
You know what I think? I think that because we were basically, I mean, the whole world went through it. There's not a person on earth who didn't go through it. There's not a person on earth who didn't have a birthday or an anniversary or a graduation or something in their family that people didn't miss, you know, like, or didn't get to like go out and, you know, celebrate or something. I mean, we all went through it. Every single one of us. There's not a person on earth that didn't go through it. So I think the fact that, you know, places are finally opening up and we're finally like, you know, coming together and I think it's like opened us up as people that we're like more likely to bond and enjoy each other and put all the, like, I've never been one for drama. I have zero tolerance for it. I don't even want to hear about it. It's like, just walk away kind of thing. But there wasn't even anything. Like, it was just, everybody just came in and it was just happiness and love and smiles and connections. And I think that COVID probably like opened us up more to allowing ourselves to be more connected with people. Mm-hmm. And so for me, it was great. Like, I left with so many new friends and so many new connections. And I'm like, now I'm working with people on new projects that I met there. So it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. Like, I had some really interesting guests come that were part of the Midnight Gypsies podcast. So that was great. We had some really interesting people. I had Sophia Stewart, who's the creator of the Terminator and the Matrix. She came and she was a guest of ours. She spoke at our event. And then we had Sidney Colston, who's an actor and a director, like in Fight Club and different things like that. We had Dr. Robert Scheib from Custodian Files. So it was really fun. We had a great time, and I got to meet so many new people. Like, it's funny because you have so many connections on Facebook, but then when you actually go and you get to like meet them in person and spend time with them, it's like a whole new world. I love it. Mm-hmm. That's my favorite part of the entire paranormal. It's my favorite part is like the connections, building the relationships, getting to know people on a personal level. Like, I love it. It's my favorite thing about it.
Definitely, absolutely.
Yeah.
What about you, Sophia? Do you think that, you know, the virus has brought paranormal closer together as a community? Look what I was going to say there, as a community.
I think that it has opened a lot of new avenues for people. I know, me personally, starting so young and just living in California, most of the events have been on the East Coast the whole time. So with places like the Dark Zone actually having these online events, it has allowed more people to feel included in the paranormal, and also just, kind of opening up these different ways for people to actually, enjoy the paranormal while still being at home. So I think it's brought people together in that way. But also, I think just in the past years that teams are wanting to work with each other more, just meeting at events. They're seeing people that have the same interests in them. And so I think it's been like progressive, but when you have more ways to kind of talk to people with the internet and with the pandemic, that it's allowing people to come together in ways they would have never expected.
Mm. I mean, we've only been running about a year and a half, and we started off at the wrong time, but the right time. We started off at the wrong time because we couldn't go investigating. We'd only got maybe 3 or 4 investigations done, and then that was it, bang, lockdown. So that's how we turned to the interview route, meeting people on the channel, on the panel, and what have you. And it was a couple of weeks ago, just before I was sitting, and how you always reminisce over the past year, and you look back and the memories kind of thing. And I was surprised at how many people both yourselves included, of course, how many people we've actually met since we started doing this, and that we now call really good friends. And it's people that we would never have connected. I mean, we live in a small town in the west coast of Scotland. It's nothing special. And it's people like yourselves that we would never ever have met in our lifetime if we hadn't been doing this.
Yeah.
And I think it's made people realise that we're all vulnerable. That this, disease thing, whatever you want to call it, can come in and just simply wipe us out.
Yeah.
And it's made us realise just, how vulnerable we are as a planet, basically. And I think that may bring people closer together as well. I don't know if that makes any sense or not.
Oh, I definitely think that, like, when we were locked down, we probably all kind of like shut down for a little while. Like, I think the first 6 months was so weird for us that we almost like disconnected from everything. But I think after that time period, we started reaching out more like virtually. And I actually ended up gaining so many more new friends on Facebook because it was like the only access I had. So, it was, I mean, I don't want to call it a positive time, but in a way it kind of was a little bit positive. And the sad thing is, when we were going through COVID and lockdown, I started realizing, like, wow, my life hasn't changed. I've been living COVID all my life. Like, I was like, I never leave the house. I don't do anything. Like, I'm like, nothing's changed for me. How sad is that? I was like not affected at all.
We're actually very much the same, because we very rarely, we're no hermits, we very rarely go out as well, unless we're investigating, or going to the shops, or doing the school run. I think that's really the only places we go.
Yep.
We'll go the occasional road trip, we'll maybe through to Edinburgh filming, for the channel and stuff, but just normally, taking away the paranormal side, that we actually don't go anywhere.
Yeah, no, it's same here too. I mean, like, the way at least I am, I think my parents feel the same way too, is like, it's kind of a lot of work to go out and eat. I mean, if you're gonna get food, isn't it nicer to just kind of get it at home, go watch some 90 Day Fiance in your PJs, and you can just relax.
Well, I agree with Sophia 100%. And I'm going to tell you this, in a way, COVID has changed my life. And I hate to say this because I freaking hate COVID. Like, don't get me wrong. Everything about COVID, the mask, all of it, the vaccines, I hate it all. Okay. But it actually changed my life in a way for the better because I started ordering my groceries. I never did that before. It saves my freaking life because I live upstairs in a flat. Like, I don't want to have to drag groceries upstairs, downstairs, up. And I started doing like ordering my food, ordering food in if I want to eat out. I don't go eat out. I order the food in. I feel like I'm in a safer place. So in reality, I'm like, I hate to admit it, but it's actually made my life easier and better in some ways because now I'm so used to doing things like I completely stopped buying groceries at the grocery store. I always have everything delivered for probably the last 6, 7, 8 months. So yeah, there's some positive to it for sure. At least maybe habits. I don't know about like the whole COVID situation, but I've changed certain things about me that I feel are positive because of COVID, for sure.
Yeah, and I mean, it's kind of the same for me, when the Dark Zone started at the beginning of the pandemic doing these virtual events, I was able to be a part of them. And like I said, being in California, I wasn't able to go to events on the East Coast. So I felt more included in the paranormal these past couple of years than I have in like a really long time because I wasn't able to kind of connect with these people in that way. Or, being able to go investigate the Queen Mary just completely with no one aboard it is such a once in a lifetime experience that I've really had these opportunities that I would have never thought of. And it's been just really nice for me to just kind of feel that inclusion that I couldn't feel with the events being in Kentucky or New York.
Oh yeah, it's hard when they're
very, very hard.
Yeah.
So just having that has been really, it just feels wonderful again. Yeah, because I mean, they haven't had events in Southern California for like 10 years. So it's just like, I haven't really had that. So it's been really great to have that. Besides my radio show, just being able to get back out there and investigate in this way.
Well, if you're interested in doing more, for sure, let's like get together and like go out and do more because there's a lot going on that's coming up. And if you're interested in going and being more involved, I'll for sure, like we'll plan it and then go together. Cause like, there's so many places I want to go. I mean, there's places I've already been, but there's some places that I absolutely love that I haven't been in for years that you would absolutely love. So if you're interested, yeah, for sure. Let's go do that.
Yeah.
Why not? We live here,
No, it'd be really great. And maybe we can get Scott down here and he can
get down here.
You want that tan.
He's like, no, I'll tell you, if I could, I'd jump in a plane, right? I'd be off. I'd be over the pond. Yeah. It's certainly food for thought. I'd love to go to America. I would absolutely love to go. There's so many.
I can show you the good restaurants,
Oh my God, we have amazing restaurants.
We have really good restaurants.
That's the one thing in Southern California, Sophia knows, we do not lack restaurants. Like, you could, even in the town I live in, you could eat like at a different restaurant every day of the year. It's like they're everywhere. So many. I have a quick question for Stephen Webb. It says, Jax, you forgot the first 2 rules of Fight Club. What's the first 2 rules of Fight Club? What is it?
Don't talk about Fight Club.
Don't talk about it?
Yeah. That's the first rule.
I don't even, to be honest with you, I don't even know if I've ever seen Fight Club. So
I haven't either. I read movie descriptions online.
So what the first 2 rules is don't talk about it, and what else?
Is that the one with Brad?
I don't know. I don't know the second. I know the first one is don't.
All
talk
right,
about
Stephen, if you're on there, tell us what are the 2 rules because maybe I've seen it, but I can't remember. It's been like too long apparently, but I don't remember. Today's actually, I doubt my daughter is on. She's out celebrating, but today's actually my daughter's birthday, so I just want to give her a shout out. Happy birthday, Courtney.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Right. Okay, so don't talk about Fight Club, and then what? What?
I think it's just don't talk about Fight Club. And
so that's the first 2 rules that you don't talk about it, and then you don't talk about it?
I think that was probably it.
Okay, my bad. Sorry.
I'm going to ask a silly question here. But that Fight Club was a film, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right. With Brad Pitt.
Yeah, Brad Pitt, Helen Bohem Carter.
So I'm pretty sure I saw it, but that was like 10 million years ago, and I'm old, so you know.
Edward Norton,
the
Brad
first
Pitt, and Helen Bohem Carter.
Okay, I get it. All right, so I won't talk about it ever again.
I have no idea. I don't know. I've actually never ever seen it. I know Brad Pitt was in it. I had a good idea. Brad Pitt was in it, but I've never actually seen.
I'm not a big movie person. I'm not even a big TV person. I don't really sit down and watch. Like, I'm not a person to just sit down and watch TV. Like, it would take like someone saying, "Hey, this is a really cool show. Check it out," kind of thing, and I would. So somebody was just telling me about Ozark in my life. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to check it out. And so I started watching it last night, and season 1, and I'm already on season 1, episode 7, just from starting it last night.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm addicted to this show now.
I'm not a big movie person either. I love TV shows. I did just recently make my dad watch all the Marvel movies with me. I did that. Yeah. I'm like a read the whole plot line on Wikipedia type person, because I get bored during movies, and I know a lot of film trivia because I said that.
I'll have to remember that if we're ever in like a game. Movie trivia, I'll be like, where's Sophia?
Yeah, actually, my dad and I play Jeopardy like every night.
Oh, that's awesome. So did you guys do that like over Christmas break?
I don't know when we started. I think it was just on one day, and then my dad and we just got competitive over it because he is a film major. I read a lot of stuff online. We play Beat Shazam. He's only beat me once, and it was a very obscure game. Like, I remember this one time we were playing Beat Shazam, and he's like an old 80s drummer and stuff, and they had like a glam rock category, and he gave me this most smug look, and I'm like, I'm gonna beat you just for looking at me like that. I got it within like a millisecond. It was like cherry pie or something, and my dad's like, you looked this up online, you didn't get that, they barely played the song. I'm like, leave me alone.
Like, there's no way you know this.
I'm like, I know your music better than you, go away. Like, he gets so mad because like my mom is 10 years older than my dad, so I know stuff from like the 60s, 70s, like my dad's era, and then today. And so when I get stuff like Splish Splash and stuff from the like 50s or like Mr. Sandman by the Chordettes, he's like, you're cheating. I'm like, get over it. I'm like, stop.
All in here, Dad.
I'm like, stop the accusations. That's funny. You're like, I'm Googling it in my brain. I'm like, stop the accusation just because I know something, okay? I'm like, just
funny.
The accusation. So yeah, we do that. That's like our
I hate to admit it, but you probably don't want me on your team. So I'd be like, oh God, what is it? I don't know. Ask Sophia.
Yeah, that's like my thing. I can do trivia. I don't know why that is. I just spend most of my time on the internet. I literally the other day saw a BuzzFeed thing, and it was like 100 facts you're taught in school that are inaccurate. I'm like, oh, okay, I'll read that.
My brain's filled with like all the dumb information of the world that people like, really don't need to know. And I don't know why, but I consume that information, and I'm like, oh, did you know this? And they're like, nobody needs to know that. And I'm like, I know.
I do that too. That's the best though. I like just being able to look at my dad and tell him something, and he's just like, what's wrong with you? I did that during Captain America. Actually, we were watching Captain America, and I go, one of the background actresses actually was arrested for murder. And he's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, don't you like watching movies?
You do know everything. That's hilarious.
If you try to watch a movie, you'll tell people all different parts. If it's the movie or the cast or whatever kind of thing. Right. So you talk during the movie.
Just with my dad. Like, if it's a person I don't know, I won't do it. But if it's my dad, absolutely. Because I like giving him random facts that just kind of bother him, and because I think it's funny. And
that's hilarious, actually.
Yeah, so I do stuff like that.
Wait a minute, how do you know this?
Yeah, he does that all the time. He's like, you don't know that. That's not true. I
Google it.
Yeah, I haven't seen the movie Alien, but one of the questions was a Final Jeopardy question, and the answer was Alien. And he's like, you're cheating, or like, I'll say like the Glass Menagerie, and it's like, I'm like, I did go to high school, okay? I did learn.
They're teaching them about Alien in high school.
Well, that one was a behind-the-scenes fact I read.
I think I'd be. No, I'm a Glaswegian. There's no anything scares me. But I think I'd be scared to be on Sophia's team in case I get quite an answer wrong.
Yeah.
I'm not mean. I just,
You know. Yeah, you know.
I just read a lot of facts online, and I have a very good memory.
So, what's your favorite Marvel movie?
That's a good question.
Black Widow.
Ooh, Black Widow. Now, do you actually go watch these in the theater, or do you watch them at home?
No, I watch them at home. I hate movie theaters.
You know, I haven't been to movie theaters in like probably 4 years.
Well, you know what it is?
Weird.
First off, I think they're gross. I'm kind of a germaphobe. That was before the pandemic. I kind of started in high school. This one boy, he sat next to me in Spanish. He came and he goes, I just threw up. I'm like, go home. He's like, no. And I got sick, of course. So super germaphobe after that. So I just think they're gross. I don't like that you can't pause them if you have to get up to the bathroom. And the way they project on the projection screen, I think kind of distorts the colors, kind of makes it a little bit more pale looking.
Yeah.
So I just don't really like that. I prefer just the way it is, being able to eat whatever food I want. So I watch it at home, but I think Black Widow had an amazing opening scene with the cover of Smells Like Teenage Spirit. I just love the way they did it. Also, Black Widow, she's a great character. And Yelena Belova was super fun too. But Hawkeye, the series, was really great. Sorry to go off on that tangent.
I like, my favorite is Ragnarok.
Yeah, we just watched that one, my dad and I. We just got through, I think, like Ragnarok, Infinity War, Endgame, and Ant-Man and the Wasp in like 2 days, and then I started him on Loki.
I like Ragnarok for the comical side there. I thought it was really funny.
Yeah, they've done a great job with just the comedy in the newer Marvel movies that I think the older ones kind of lacked. So I prefer just like the newer ones like Ant-Man and stuff. I just think they're a lot better.
I wasn't a fan of Ant-Man, I must admit, you know. I'm kind of scared to say that, you know, but, you know, I wasn't a big Ant-Man. I like Paul Rudd, I think he's a brilliant actor, especially in the latest Ghostbusters movie, which we watched the other day, which I thought was really good. But I wasn't sold on Ant-Man. I like Iron Man and the Hulk. But that gets back to my childhood, you know. You know, everybody wanted to be the Hulk. You paint yourself green during the summer and stuff and run about a park, making, you know, noises and stuff like that.
Yeah, that was Spider-Man for me.
I love Spider-Man. I think Spider-Man was my favorite. I used to actually play poker way back in the day, and Tobey Maguire, right? That's his name. It's been a while. He used to play as well, and like right after he made the movie, he started playing poker, and we ended up actually playing at the same place at the same table. So it's really cool because I feel like I had that like really awesome connection of watching the movie and then like meeting him and, you know, sitting there playing. So it's just kind of like one of those special moments of like getting to enjoy both worlds. So it was fun. Scott's like Shrek. Shrek.
Shrek's pretty great. I have a Shrek
mask. Shrek's actually one of my favorite movies.
Thank you.
I have a Shrek mask. So
my kids are obsessed with Shrek, and we watch it all the time. I'm like literally obsessed with Shrek and Donkey. Like they're like my favorite characters of all time.
Donkey's amazing. I
am obsessed.
What did you think of the Marvel TV shows, though?
Not as good as the films.
I never saw them personally.
I didn't watch. I watched some of them, but I don't know. I preferred the movies. They were good, but you know when you just watch something, you think this isn't for me. I prefer the kind of film. Along with, I mean, like the Da Vinci Code. I know it's totally different subject, but it's Da Vinci Code. I read the book. I thought the book was great, but I thought the film was amazing.
Oh, the film was beyond amazing.
You know, I've spoken to a few people who think the other way around. They think the book was better than.
Oh, really? I loved the movie. I thought the movie was just beyond. I loved it. Matter of fact, I remember I watched it multiple times. I loved it so much.
I love it. But so with the Marvel, I liked all the the Iron Man changed into a suit and all the usual kids side there, the superheroes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I wasn't a big fan of the TV series. But we're kind of like binge watchers. We watched Stranger Things about 3 times.
Yeah.
I've never seen it.
Oh, the last season they made was really good. The one that took place in the summer, I really liked that one. I think that was season 3. That one was really good.
No, doesn't that has like a lot of seasons? I heard that's like
Stranger Things.
I thought is it Stranger Things? It's I can't remember if it's that one or a different one, but there's something that's like everybody's watching and it has like 10 seasons. And someone told me about it and I'm like, oh my God, I cannot. That's like a huge commitment.
I know Supernatural has like a ton.
Maybe it's Supernatural, I'm thinking.
Yeah,
I think that is it actually, because it has like 10 seasons or something, and they're like, you got to watch it. And I looked it up, and it's like 10 seasons, and I'm like, oh my God, I don't even have that much time.
Yeah, no, Supernatural is super long. I know the Vampire Diaries, if you watch it with the originals and Legacies, that is really long. But Stranger Things only has 3 seasons, and I think it's like 12.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it was Supernatural that I'm thinking about. Yeah, because I sat down one day to watch it, and I was like, whoa, I'll never get through this.
One that Sarah was watching was Grey's Anatomy.
Oh,
that's really long.
No, you don't like it?
Well, there's about 20 episodes in every season, and there's about 40.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, there's like 34 seasons or something. It's insane.
It's
a good show.
I'd be dead before I could finish that. No. Oh my God.
Sarah watched it religiously. It was on constantly during the day and night time, and people were all dying.
Binge watching. That's just massive binge watching. I just
that's taking binge watching to a whole new level.
I did that with the Vampire Diaries. There's the biggest season was like 23 episodes, and it's 8 seasons
That's
long.
A lot.
And then there was 5 seasons of the originals, and I think those were like 22 episodes each, except for the final seasons for Vampire Diaries and the originals. And I was already had started Legacies, which was on season 1 at that time. But a good show actually on the CW is Nancy Drew. It's Nancy Drew, but ghosts.
Nancy Drew,
but it's ghosts.
I used to read those books.
Nancy Drew. Oh, that's years ago. There's
way back when.
There's one series I binge watched and I loved it, and I've done it about 3 or 4 times. I've actually got this here. I don't know if you can see that or not.
What is it?
Oh, the Tudors.
Tudors. I love it. I don't know how many times. I think I've watched the whole time 3 or 4 times, and that's my most favourite because I'm a big Henry VIII fan, Tudor fan as well. So watching that was just amazing.
Yeah.
And I think it's about 4 times I've watched the entire.
Oh wow.
One after the other.
The only time I've ever done that was with Game of Thrones. I think I watched it like 7 times, the whole thing, 7 times. I'd be like, I'd get one person involved and I'd go, okay, let's watch it. And then I'd watch the whole thing. And then I'd get another person and watch it. And I just kept grabbing people like, you have to see this. You have to see this. So I ended up watching it, like, I think 7 or 8 times. So that's my most. Never done that before.
With Vampire Diaries, but my cousin's too busy. She won't watch it. She doesn't have time. And I'm like,
yeah. You should say, like, okay, we'll watch the same episode tonight in 2 different places, and we'll talk about it tomorrow.
Oh my God. I'm trying so hard. I'm like telling my friends, I'm like, you wanna watch this? And they're like, let's play video games. And I'm like, okay. I'll get it one of these days. My dad would probably watch it, but I don't want to watch it with him.
When I'm done with Ozark, I'll watch it with you.
It's a great show.
I'll watch it.
Yeah, I love vampires.
When you watch the Vampire Diaries, and no disrespect to it, but the Twilight films and that, I watched them and I thought, you know what? No, the people are too clean and shiny.
Shiny or sparkly.
Oh, aye. They're like, they're all, they're all masculine, they're all clean shaven and all the rest of it. And, there's no blood and guts. There's nothing. So they have a fight. The werewolves fight the vampires, but there's no blood and guts.
No blood and guts. It was a love story.
Vampire Diaries does have people ripping out each other's hearts, so that does have like blood and guts. Another good show, actually on Netflix, it has one season. They're currently making season 2. Is Warrior Nun. That's a really good show. Doesn't sound good. It's literally nuns that fight demons. It's a really great show.
The only other season I've watched in the last like probably a year and a half to 2 years is Peaky Blinders. I don't know if you guys have ever seen it, but it is absolutely amazing. I think they actually film it in the UK, and the main guy on there, I think he's from Ireland, but beyond amazing. It's about like the like Irish mafia.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really
one of the guys in it, he was in one of the Batman films. He played the
Scarecrow.
Oh yes. That's him. Yes.
There's Sophia.
I'm trying to remember his name.
So quick, Sophia was in that answer there. Scarecrow, bang, I've got it.
I'm sorry, I play too much trivia. I can't help it.
I know the one I can't remember his name, but I'm waiting for Sophia telling us.
I think it's like Killian. I don't know his last name, or if that is his
last
name, but I think it's Killian.
Yes. That's it. It's I'm trying to remember his last name, but that's his first name, yeah. Yeah, I think it starts with an S.
I just like films. Sarah will tell you, I just like films. Maybe I'm screwed in the head. I don't know. But I like films where you see people losing parts of their body. You know, basically. You know, if you're going to put a horror film on, then let somebody lose a limb or two, you know, or an appendage or something. Make it realistic. And I've watched some horror movies and nothing happens. You think that was a load of bull.
That's the one thing I never watch, Scott. I never watch horror films. Never, ever. It's like the one thing I never watch. I'll watch paranormal. I'll watch vampires. I'll watch anything else. But no, when it comes to like zombies or like tearing bodies apart, I'm out.
Yeah.
Horror films, I'm done. I don't want people chasing me with a chainsaw.
Thank you. Yeah, I don't watch them either. People are like, "You're a ghost hunter." I'm like, no one's trying to kill me.
It's like, I don't want to be in a dark building thinking about some guy coming around the damn corner with a chainsaw trying to take my body and tear it up in 25 pieces. But thanks.
Yeah, no, seriously.
I'm good.
But as the old cliche in it, you see the horror movies and the no disrespect, no sexist or none, but you see the young girl in the house herself, and you know all the lights go out. So what does she do? She goes up the stairs rather than go to the front door. She goes up the stairs. You know, that annoys me in films. Or they'll go into the basement. You know, maybe she's a teenager at home herself, babysitting with her, and there's a power cut and doing it in the basement. You know, rather than bolt. You know. That annoys me. That's always kind of perplexed me, especially in the Scream films. They do that a lot in the Scream films. Walk in, you know, walk in. Don't get me wrong, the Scream films I did like because there's plenty of blood and guts in it. You know.
But I can tell you something. Someone actually talked me into watching a horror film like, it was probably like 3 or 4 years ago. And it freaked me out so bad because it was literally so connected to like what we do as paranormal investigators. And this guy kept going into like these buildings where like these teenage kids would break in, basically like what we would have done back in the day. And they're like, want to sneak around and check out these old abandoned buildings. And this guy would like, you know, hack them up. And it freaked me out so bad for like the next year. I would carry around mace and a pocket knife. I had everything I could think of to like protect myself. I'm like, no one's hacking me up. Thank you.
She was walking
I'm never going anywhere by myself.
She was walking about like a Navy SEAL, all done up, you know, the flak jacket, the black vest and everything on.
Yep. Yeah, that's us now.
Yeah, for sure. I saw Halloween for the first time. I was like, why do you keep putting down the knife? Are you not going to stab him again to make sure he's like good? Like, what are you doing? He's been chasing you. You hit him in the neck with a knitting needle. Take the butcher knife, stab him. Probably still wouldn't have done anything, but at least you tried to check.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I just don't get it.
Or it's when they're standing with a gun and they shoot them in the arm or something.
Yeah, it's just like...
Shoot them in the face.
Shoot him in the face. They're like shooting his finger off.
Yeah, well, Dr. Loomis in Halloween was
I got 9 numbers.
Yeah, it's just like, why?
My favorite character of all time is Jason Voorhees. Big Jason. That's my all-time favorite psycho, Jason Voorhees.
Yeah.
It always amazed me how you see on the Friday 13 films. I think I said this in the live before. I think I said on the live that with Rick on, and you see all the teenagers running through the forest.
Yeah.
And Big Jason's just walking. He's not giving a fit. Basically, he's like that. He always ends up in front of them.
The same amount of effort I would also put in.
That's what I like to be.
Honest to God. I'm like, nah, I'm good. I don't need to watch that. And it's crazy because, when I was younger, like high school days, my friends or my cousins would go, hey, let's go watch this horror film. And I'd be like, okay, that sounds fun. Let's go watch it. And it didn't even affect me. Now I'm older and I'm like, no, I can't stop thinking about that guy breaking into my house who's going to murder me. And it's like, why does this crap affect you when you're older? It's so weird.
You're younger and you
can't deal with it.
You're younger and you don't give a crap. You don't care. It'll never happen. But when you're older, because you're seeing more of life and you can see what can happen. I mean, I've watched a lot of crime documentaries, and some folk out there are just insane. I don't mean that bad way, but what they do to people is just nuts. And I think that makes you more compass mentis as you go older, because you know that there are people out there like that, in real life that not in Scotland. I hate saying not in Scotland. We're all fine here. We're all totally sane people here, or sane mind. But there is people out there that actually do wrap people up in cellophane and stick them in wood.
Wrap them around and toss them out. I watched this documentary probably a few months ago about people who are serial killers, but you don't nobody around them realizes, like, their neighbors and everyone's like, oh, they're so nice, and you would have never guessed. By the end of this documentary, I was convinced my next door neighbor was a serial killer. I was like watching his every move. I'm like, oh God, he's taking his dogs out. He's gonna kill me. He's taking his trash out. Oh God, what's he doing?
I know exactly the programs you mean. I watched a lot of US crime programs as well, and you get people, oh, you would never have thought for 1 minute he would do that. I say, well, what does a serial killer actually? Would you expect him to have bodies hanging up outside his, on coats or something?
I have to disagree. Ted Bundy looked crazy. He looked insane. Everyone's like, "Oh, he was the handsome killer." It's like,
so many people say that.
Crazy.
Yeah,
Are you telling me you had no idea that man was like out of his mind? Because I can look at pictures and tell you that I would not go within 1,000 meters of Ted Bundy. So
no, he was creepy.
I feel like, you can tell with some people, like, he was weird. Or Ed Gein he was kind of weird looking too. I'm not judging people based on their looks, but like they just had something in their eyes. You can just kind of tell. And I feel like, I'm not saying it was the victim's fault. I'm just saying, like, I feel like there's some people you can just kind of sense just their energy or something.
Yeah, exactly. If you were to walk up and like you didn't know back then, you were like a neighbor or a person, and you like walked up to him, you would get a weird vibe.
Yeah,
for sure.
I think it's people trying to kind of shove that vibe off to be like, no, you're overthinking that. Is it where things go wrong? Because I feel like those people genuinely had something you could probably
it's actually funny that you say that, because I just posted something the other day about like, follow your gut and your instincts on how you feel about people. Like, surround yourself with good people. But if you have bad instincts and bad feelings, like a bad vibe when you're around someone, trust that. Trust those instincts and that energy. If it's weird for a reason. That's built in us for a reason, to give us the idea of like to stay away from certain people. And most people don't trust it. They just ignore it. They're like, oh, they don't even like trust their own gut.
Yeah. So I feel like people like that, there's just kind of like something's kind of off. I mean, that's not with every serial killer or murderer, but I feel like people like that, it's like, I don't know I'm not seeing what you're seeing. No. I know. I agree on that guy. That guy was weird.
In Glasgow, as well as I'm a Glaswegian, in Glasgow, you get a lot of weird characters, a lot of weird looking characters. But they're no serial killers, they're just nuts, in a good way. They're just insane people. Some ways that people dress in Glasgow, you think, no, You
haven't been to Venice, then.
It's quite unusual. I mean, you take, I'm going to sneeze. John Wayne Gacy, when he was dressed up as that clown, that was deeply suspicious to me.
Yeah.
That just makes me wonder, like, because obviously we know in the U.S. we have a lot of crime, all over. It pretty much doesn't matter where you are. There's stuff everywhere. There's weirdos everywhere here. But what about in Scotland? Do you have a lot of crime there?
Well, yes and no. I know that's a bit of a stupid answer, but round about Glasgow, Edinburgh, even this town we live in, there's not a lot. Glasgow, you get quite a wee bit, but it's mostly like stabbings, shootings, but in Glasgow, it's more gang related.
Oh, okay.
Glasgow mafia kind of related. You do get the odd one. It's maybe a teenager, too much to drink, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Edinburgh is a lot of drugs.
Oh, really?
There's a lot of drug-related stuff in Edinburgh. But the further north you go, there's nothing.
Nothing?
You never hear. I mean, I've been up north hundreds of times.
Is it more country-like?
Everybody's kind of peaceful, and you can leave your...
Oh, that's nice.
Your door unlocked kind of thing and what have you. So, I would say around about Edinburgh, Glasgow kind of area, aye.
Yeah.
But then, saying that about Glasgow is noted as the roughest city in the UK, but it's also noted as the friendliest city in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
I've been to London many a time, and I love London. I've got a lot of friends down there. But, a couple of times I've been up to somebody in London and asked them directions, and they're just ignored me. Just kept walking. You do that in Glasgow, either just totally, blanked and away they go. But if you do that in Glasgow, 9 times out of 10, if you ask somebody directions, if the place is nearby, they'll actually take you to it.
Aw, that's so nice.
Say, well, come with me a minute and I'll take you to where it is. So it's kind of totally different, But I'm just biased. I'm Glaswegian anyway.
Yeah, that's a very rare thing in the U.S. Like, I mean, unless you're in a super comfortable, friendly place, strangers aren't usually going to take you anywhere. They're just going to be like, yeah, it's over there. Yeah, we're not the friendliest of, I'd say, people in California of helping each other out.
Because we don't want the money.
People are afraid of each other. It's just like, why are you looking at me? Why are you talking to me? What do you want?
That's because it's loaded with crime. That's why. But I mean, I do confess, when I was younger, as a teenager, if somebody asks me directions, I had this habit of sending them in the wrong direction. You know, just for fun.
When you're like, it's over there. No, it's not. It's over there. When people come up to us, we're like, hurry up, roll the windows up. It like panics.
Is there a lot of crime in California?
Do what?
Is there a lot of crime?
Yeah, it definitely depends where you live, but I'd say yeah, like you said, yes and no. I kind of say the same. Like it depends on like what locations you're in. Like if you're in a really bad area of LA, yes. If you're in a really bad area of say like San Francisco, Oakland, yes. Like, but it's not like horrible everywhere. We definitely have crime. We have gangs, shootings but it's kind of crazy because a lot of our crimes here are crazy related. Like we'll get like people who are driving on the freeway and get frustrated with each other and shoot at each other. We get crazy things.
I think it's also, it depends on the area, but also we have like one of the largest populations of cities and counties. So when you have that, you're going to have like a lot more crime because
absolutely
you probably have a lot more like crazy people, or it's just kind of a ratio thing. And I
plus
mean,
we have way more cultures. So our cultures are all over the board. Like from all over the world, you know what I mean? They cultivate and we have areas of like LA that's like, I don't even know all the names of them, but it's like, here's Chinatown and then there's a different town and then there's they're all like, so it's interesting. It just kind of all depends on where you are, but yeah, we definitely have a culture of the world, especially in LA.
So basically, what you're saying is, if it hopefully will, come over, bring some kind of bulletproof clothing with us.
It depends where you're going. I mean, I don't need one here.
Because you never leave the house. No, I understand why.
I don't leave look, air conditioning, food, video games.
She's like, I'm content. I'm good.
I mean, I don't have my best friend problems. Like, if I go to the mall with my friends, I don't have any problems. I think if you're a girl, maybe like getting catcalled or something, but even at that, I haven't really ever had that. So it just really depends where you are and who you're around.
Yeah. I mean, there's just certain areas of like Los Angeles you just don't go to. Let's just, be honest about it. There's just certain areas like you just don't go and you don't spend time there, but and if you do, they're going to let you know you don't belong for sure. But these are just like certain areas. It's not like everywhere. Like there's normal places. Like I don't even know what town Sophia lives in, but I live in Temecula, which is like a very more suburban style like living, and we don't have much crime here at all. So it just depends on where you are for sure. But, we have a ton of people that live here because we have I live in wine country because I think we have like somewhere between 60 and 100 wineries that are up and going right now. And so we get a lot of tourists and people come here for the wine country. And so, but yeah, like you hardly ever hear about anything. Like if you hear about anything at all, it's like, whoa, what? Like it's kind of a shock. So it just totally depends.
That's a lot like where we live. I mean, again, up in Glasgow, where we live, we're about 20 miles west of Glasgow. And it's not a massive big town. And there's a lot of drugs in our town, but you don't hear about it. You see people, you can tell right away that they're on something. But crime-wise, every now and again something will happen. I mean, like I say, for instance, 6 months ago, there was two young woman stabbed and killed. That was mother and daughter,
Yeah.
and the whole town was in shock. All of us were in shock anyway because of what's happened, but it was something you never hear it. But it's not a regular occurrence, and it's the same with other things. There are a lot of drugs in this town, but it's kept under. They keep themselves to themselves basically. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And then you get the silly stuff. The area we stay in. Every now and again, you'll get somebody who'll go around and randomly trying front doors in the middle of the night to see if any's unlocked. What they're planning to do, if they walk into your house and you're sitting there on the couch and they walk into your house, kind of thing, you're like, well, what are you wanting, basically? But you get that sort of thing. But 9 times out of 10, it's to try and steal stuff for money for drugs. They're no big time criminals or anything. They're just trying to, I don't know, get their next fix.
Yeah. It's so funny because I live in an apartment building right now. I'm normally in a house, but I moved here in July, and multiple times I've accidentally left my garage door open downstairs, and I won't go down there for days, and then I'll go down there and realize, like, oh wow, my garage door is wide open and all my stuff's in there and no one has touched a thing. So it makes you realize, like, okay, I even though it's an apartment building, I live in a really super nice neighborhood. So it's like, well, it's good to know at least I'm in a safe area.
It gives you that kind of reassurance as well.
Yeah.
I've gone out a couple of times, and I went out one day, and Sarah was with me as well. And we came back and pulled into the driveway, and I noticed our keys were still in the front door. I forgot to take the keys with me. And we'd been out for an hour or two, whatever. And, the keys our house is right on a pathway. There's a lot of people walk up and down it. And so you could clearly see keys were in the front door. But the door was still locked and nothing was taken. Obviously you'd expect to open the front door and your house is empty.
Oh,
God. Not a thing was taken, so that's kind of reassuring as well.
Yeah.
But I'm going to have to wind it up there, ladies, because we're over the 2-hour mark. And,
okay.
I think the wee one settled in that. I know it's still early afternoon for you guys.
Yeah.
It's about.
Well, thank you so much, Sophia, for coming on with us.
Well, thank you so much for having me. It was great talking to you both.
It was so nice having you back on. I know we were on before, and I know we met long time ago, but I'm really looking forward to getting together and doing some investigations. That's going to be a lot of fun. I'll keep you in contact with what's going on.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you so much, both of you, again. It was really great talking to you.
Yeah, you too. It's lovely catching up.
Our pleasure, though. Always a pleasure to have you on. But I'll just keep a hold of you a wee second or two after we come off. So we are back next Thursday, aren't we, Jax?
Yep, next Thursday. With Jim
time.
Martin, right?
Mr. Martin.
Mr. Martin, come on.
He was asking for an invite, so I thought, well, better ask him.
Oh.
I'm always
I love Jim.
I merely jest. Well, we're back next Thursday with Jim Martin, which should be good.
Yeah.
So,
I actually just met him in Vegas, so we finally met in person. So I'm really looking forward to having him on. Yeah.
I saw the photographs of the wee drink in the hand and stuff. I saw them.
We had a lot of fun. We actually had a really good time. So I'm really looking forward to catching up with him. We're actually going to be doing some projects together soon. So actually he might be involved in the projects I'm going to do with Sophia if she's ready to get going with us. So yeah, we'll have a lot of fun. But but thank you guys so much for joining us and in coming on our first show, Sophia. We really love that you came on and talked with us. And I love that we're doing this new show chat with Jax and Scott. And I love it. And I'm so honored to be a part of this. So thank you, Scott.
Well, I'm the same, right? What does it say? Ditto. That what they say in the films, ditto. See, for me, though, I'm so happy they finally got it together and got off the ground. You know,
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
Happy days.
Yeah, 2022 is a whole new year, so I'm ready to just get things rolling. Let's go.
Let's
live out a great year. 2021. Goodbye.
That's fun.
History. It's a clean slate.
Yeah, exactly. So thanks everybody for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
We hope you enjoyed the first show, and we hope you join us next Thursday again, same time. Wherever you are, same time for you. And take care for now. So talk to you all soon. Bye.
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 Bye, Sophia.
Bye.